Hi, it's Rie. These are some Japanese recipes for winter season. Osechi is an assortment of special foods we eat to celebrate New Year's. Usually, people make them at the end of December, and it's eaten during January 1st to 3rd. It also has a celebratory purpose, so each dish has a meaning or wish for the year associated with it. For example, shrimp is often seen in osechi to symbolize longevity. New Year's Day is one of the biggest holidays in Japan, and many shops used to close during the time. On top of that, people traditionally wouldn't cook during the New Year's holiday, so osechi was created to last through preservation techniques. The combination of red and white colors represents joy and happiness, so you'll see a lot of food in red and white color in osechi. Another staple is namasu, which is pickled daikon radish and carrots. For this video, we will be using smoked salmon instead of carrots. The white color of daikon and the red and orange color of the smoked salmon add festivity in the osechi box. Osechi contains a lot of different dishes, and it takes a lot of time to cook traditional ways. So nowadays, we can purchase osechi from restaurants, shop, or online. But if you want to try to make it, I recommend this simplified recipe, Tasty Japan Made. In the States, the most popular kind of mochi might be mochi ice cream. But when I think of mochi, my mind immediately goes to the pounded kind. You'll steam mochi rice and pound until the mochi rice becomes a smooth blob. Freshly pounded mochi is very soft and sticky. For preservation purposes, we usually air dry mochi so it will last a long time. Once it's dried, it becomes hard but will soften again when you heat it up. If you are curious how we make mochi the traditional way, check out the Eating Your Feet mochi episode. We usually eat mochi during January, often as a New Year's food. My favorite way of eating mochi is simply wrapped with nori seaweed and dipped in soy sauce with a big pinch of sugar. But you can enjoy mochi in a lot of ways. Ozoni is a soup eaten over New Year's, known for having mochi in it. Each prefecture has a different way of making ozoni, usually featuring ingredients that prefecture is famous for. My hometown Hiroshima is famous for oysters, so some people add oysters in ozoni. However, I'm allergic to oysters, so I never had one with oysters. As you can see, we used the rectangular mochi for the first soup, but the shape of mochi differs in the east and west side of Japan. White miso ozoni is famous in Kyoto, and Kyoto is located in west side, so they use round mochi instead of rectangular mochi. Supposedly, the reason for the different shapes is because eastern Japan has more cities with higher populations, like Tokyo. So cutting it into rectangular shape instead of rolling it into balls allows for faster production. Ozoni is usually a savory soup, but some prefectures eat a sweet version, like this azuki bean soup. Ozoni is also another celebratory dish for New Year's, and it's a home-cooked meal, so it may be difficult to find at the restaurants. My mom makes ozoni with grilled eel bone dashi, chicken, daikon radish, and carrot. It's slightly smoky from grilled eel bone dashi, and I always look forward to eat it for New Year. There are so many varieties, but mochi is the must-have ingredient for ozoni. Ozoni is one of my favorite food to eat during winter time. Nabe, or Japanese-style hot pot, is such a staple dish during winter time. It's easy to make you warm, and loaded with healthy ingredients like vegetables and hearty meats. My favorite things to put into nabe are napa cabbage, mushrooms such as shiitake or enoki, tofu, chicken, and scallions. but there are lots of creative ways of making nabe. Adding cheese as a topping and this layering style is getting really popular. Spicy nabe is another popular style. For this video, we used the Szechuan peppers to give a nice kick. It gives a tingly and numbing sensation. Kimchi is another great ingredient to add in if you want to make spicy nabe. We call it nabe because nabe means pot. We usually use a specific clay pot called a donabe when we make nabe. But if you don't have one, you can use any kind of pot with a lid. Once you eat all the vegetables and meat, don't throw away the leftover soup. You can add cooked rice to make congee, or you can add udon or ramen noodles to finish. Nabe is a great dish when you host a dinner party because it brings people together and it's easy to prepare. You can also keep adding ingredients as people eat. It's a never-ending food. A few years ago, sculpting grated daikon in nabe got really popular in Japan. My mom is the one who told me about this trend, and she sent me a picture of what she made. It was so cute. I wanted to try it myself and came up with the idea for this video. One of the most famous styles of nabe is called Chanko Nabe, known as a dish eaten by sumo wrestlers. Sumo wrestlers eat a lot of nabe for their meals because it's well-balanced and very filling. So I figured that I would combine Chanko Nabe with the sculpted daikon trend and make a nabe dish with a sumo wrestler in it. Once you grate the daikon, make sure to squeeze out the moisture so it's easy to make a shape and the nabe won't get too watery. Enjoy making this dish with your favorite animal or character. Thank you so much for watching. Those are my favorite winter recipes. I'd like to hear what you make during winter.